What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. This video is actually kind of important. It's got some pretty decent value into it. Don't mind the flip-flops of being a little casual. Last video, we scored the $200 '99 or 2000 Chevy Blazer. Paid $200 for it. And I got a spare NV3500 and the highly coveted yet pretty freaking rare GM 8.5 inch for the two-wheel drive S10 platform. This bad boy. Now, I had this 8.8 in another video, and I was like, you know, it's probably a pretty good idea to show a comparison, like why everybody tends to run the Ford 8.8. First and foremost, you're going to notice this bad boy's a lot wider. It's a pretty common issue. You guys follow the forums, you guys go on YouTube, wherever. Now you're going flange to flange. It's the 8.8 out of the Explorer. Let me clarify, this is out of a 98 Explorer. Flange to flange, you're sitting at 54 inches. Whereas the two-wheel drive 8.5, like the 7.5, is 48 inches. 4 feet. Another thing to take in consideration, from the flange to the axle, the housing where the tube goes in is 16 inches here, 16 inches here. The Ford 8.8, 17 and 20 respectively. Most people lop off 3 inches on this axle to straighten it up because, you know, Ford offsets the pumpkin. Generally, even though the 8.5 is symmetrical, the drive shaft, the pinion, is offset just a little bit. The drive shaft can't be completely straight in, otherwise you get a horrible vibration. It's common sense, just common physics. It's got to be offset just a little bit. Couple things to note. You're going to be, well, first and foremost, you know, some people say, like, here's your leaf spring pins. You're looking 39 inches on the 8.5. Your pins, your centering pins. The 8.8, you're looking 40. So that's really not an issue. I mean, you could do an offset bushing. You can move the shackle over a little bit if you're really worried about a ½ inch on each side. But primarily, most people go after that big bad boy because it's cheap, it's plentiful, a lot of aftermarket support. And whereas the 8.5, if you could come across an 8.5 for what I did, next to nothing, grab it. Direct bolt in. If you have a drive shaft in an S10 with a center support, the yoke and the splines after the center support, you tend to have a bit more give because the pinion depth is an inch longer on the 8.5 versus the 7.5, whereas the 8.8, it's the same as the 7.5 GM rear end, so you really don't need any drive shaft modifications other than you need a swap joint. Alright, so I pulled all the fasteners out. Trying to get some good lighting here. Up close and personal comparisons. This has the legendary track lock. This is a 410 gear track lock, posi. Looks like it hasn't been serviced, maybe at all. The fluid's nasty, really in it. This GM unit has 198 on it. I'm gonna have to get my dial indicator to check the how I feel about the wear. I'm gonna put a posi in it, but I want to check the backlash to make sure it's like within a respectable amount. This is a 342 gear ratio, but you know, you got them side by side. The 8.8 uses a much thicker ring gear. From the bottom of the mounting surface to the tip of the teeth, it's probably about 1.5 inches thickness. GM's is similar, but then again, it all depends on, you know, because this is a 342 and this is a 410. Obviously, one ring gear is going to have more teeth than the other. But in terms of like durability, GM uses, it looks like a 7/16 bolt to hold the carrier in place, whereas Ford uses maybe 1/2 inch. Obviously the 8.8 is an 8.8 inch ring gear, and the GM, this is 8.5 or 8.625, but I'm pretty sure it's just an 8.5. The 8.8 is probably about 15%, 20% stronger. All you have to do is look at the axle thickness here. These axle tubes where they neck down, this is about 2.5, whereas on the Ford, these are about 3.5. Ultimately, the biggest issue some folks have is the axles. Ford uses a 4.5 inch thread spacing, and General Motors uses a 4 3/4. If you're using an aftermarket rim, it's not a problem. I like my soft 8s. The 8.5 inch will be a direct swap, 100% direct swap. Axles, back spacing, it's all going to be the same, just a bigger, beefier axle, and I'm going to get a posi for it, probably an Eaton or an Auburn. The Ford, you're going to have to figure out back spacing because the axle, what did I say? It's 6 inches wider. So regardless of what you're going to do, if you're going to use a stock axle, you're going to have to cut down 3 inches off this tube, or you're going to have to get an extreme back spacing. You know, you have to get creative, and the tires are still going to hang over. So that's where the cost comes into play. I mean, the way I look at it is, if you can come across an 8.5 inch for a G-body or for an S10, whatever, old 2nd gen Camaro, anything with a leaf spring, if you're going to run that application, do it. But it is no surprise, and it is no secret why everybody and their brother runs the Explorer axle. They're common, parts are available all day long, incredible aftermarket support, very affordable, brutally strong. These are tough axles. I believe this one has a 31 spline axle shaft in it. I'm going to pull a gear set out because nobody seems to want to buy this off me, so I'm sure somebody's going to want the 410 and posi. I'm pretty sure this is a 31 spline, whereas I'm pretty confident this 8.5, even though it's a 2000, should have been a 30, more than likely it's only a 28 spline. Not a problem for what I'm doing, but some people may like the upgraded axles. I mean, you go to the junkyard, you go to any pull-apart. We have pull-apart here in Ohio, and I think you're going to pull one of these axles out of an Explorer, complete with all your brake accessories, hoses, calipers, rotors. It's about 140 bucks. How do you beat that? I see guys all day long asking $600–700 for the 8.5. Apples for oranges. The 8.8, 20% stronger, but to put it in a GM application or anything with a leaf spring, I've seen a lot of guys use them in Jeeps, etc., etc. You're going to have to do some fabrication, but just the sheer fact that you get a brutally strong axle that is dirt cheap, it is worth those things. So here's my little comparison. To get off that, the 8.8, like I said, I'm going to tear it apart. nobody seems to want it, and I'm not giving it away for free. So I'm pulling the Posi in the 410 gear set, and this winter the S10 is going to get the 8.5. I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to put new bearings in it, new seals. I'm going to check the backlash, and I'm going to get a Posi for it before I throw it in. And it's going to be disc brakes. I want to have disc brakes. I will not go back to drum in the rear. Alrighty. Any questions, comments? You know what to do. You know how to get a hold of me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like. If you got any questions, that's a non-repetitive question that I've answered in umpteen other videos, shoot me an email. Thanks, guys.